Welcome back to Atlanta. I'm Pam Oliver. They have the roof open here at the Dome. You know, the key for any team is to win the battle along the line of scrimmage, but that could be tricky for the Cowboys D-line. That's because they have been ravaged by injuries, so much so that defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli told me they could even get desperate and go with linebackers in this position. Of course, that would be Damian Wilson who would take over. The guys who are in there will just have to play more reps. 2 starters and 2 backups are out of this game with various injuries. Kevin?
Pam, thanks. That's a lot. I mean, Charles, that's pretty rare. 4 defensive linemen down in one game. That doesn't happen very often.
You always have a contingency, but you don't think you'll ever have to exercise it. And the fact that they're even thinking about it tells you just how tough it is.
The good news is that their best defensive lineman, DeMarcus Lawrence, is playing. He's the guy that leads them in sacks. There's Dan Quinn trying to get his Falcons back in this playoff mix. They've had a ton of injuries this year themselves. 4th season head coach of this team. He's done a magnificent job against Jason Garrett, 9th-year Cowboys coach. Looked like they were down and out after a loss to the Titans. A huge win in Philadelphia. And now they're looking for another one here. And today they won the toss. They deferred. And here we go from Atlanta. This is Marvin Hall. Going to take it out. Patient running. And Marvin Hall is up to the 24-yard line. And that's where we will get to see Matt Ryan for the first time today. Against Dallas in his career, he's been excellent. He's 3-1. That's the most important number. A quarterback rating of 95.4, including a win last year here in this building.
He has a number of weapons to spread the ball around, but he really would like his offensive line to be able to take care of the running game and have that established so he can use that play action that he does so well.
Play fake. Pressure coming. Ryan just flips it. Almost intercepted. Wow. Malik Collins had a chance to pick that off, and confusion on the first play as Ryan had some pressure too.
And if Dallas wins this game, watch it in the middle here. Number 96. He can't really get upfield, so he gets stymied by Alex Mack and just stays in his spot, and the ball finds him. So if Dallas wins this game, he's going to take a beating in the film room.
That was Karan Reed who got the pressure. One of those guys down on the depth chart. You'll see a lot more today with their injuries on that line. 2nd and 10. Fake on the run. Ryan's got a man wide open. It's Julio Jones breaking free into Cowboys territory. He leads the league in receiving. No shot there, and he picks up 28 yards.
And it'll be interesting to watch where he lines up throughout this game because the Cowboys don't usually travel cornerbacks. Byron Jones, number 31, is having an exceptional year at corner for Dallas. So let's see if Julio Jones lines up more on the side where Chidobe Awuzie, number 24, occupies and tries to work on him.
And that's where he is right now, bottom of your screen, lined up against Awuzie, Charles. From the 48, this time they will run it to Coleman, and nothing doing. Nowhere to go against this Cowboys defense, which is very, very good. Overall, they've got the 7th best defense in the league, but scoring-wise, Charles, they're only allowing 19 points a game. That's 3rd best in the NFL.
The number 1 stat you want for a defense.
Yeah.
How many points do you give up per game? And number 55, Leighton Vander Esch, has been a revelation and a marvel. Their 1st-round draft pick at linebacker. Byron Jones playing corner as well as anyone in the league here in the early going.
Julio Jones comes out on this play. On 2nd down, blitz is coming. Ryan sees it, unloads it. Hooper, the tight end, tackled immediately by Xavier Woods, and a 3rd down coming up. So, Charles, these Cowboys don't blitz necessarily a ton, but when they do, it's effective for them. They've got 9 sacks off that blitz this year.
And I think a number of their blitzes today won't necessarily be blitzes on passing situations. They'll blitz to stuff the run game and wreck protections as well. So I think that Chris Richard, who's now calling the defense signals for the Cowboys, he'll be selective and pick his spots. But when he blitzes, they'll want to do some damage.
Randy Gregory looking to rush the passer. Falcons are awesome on 3rd down, 2nd best in the NFL. 3rd and 5. Ryan, quick slant over the middle. It's Coleman who gets belted, but he's got a 1st down as he holds on. big hit that time combined by Woods and Jalen Smith, but Coleman hung on and he moves the chains.
And Jalen Smith thought he had actually stopped him from getting to the first down marker. But this is nice courage by number 26, Tevin Coleman. He realized he's going right into the briar patch. And Jalen Smith delivers the first blow and is followed up by Xavier Woods, number 25, the safety, for a nice 1-2. But he sacrificed and picked up a first down.
Ito Smith comes in at running back for the first time. He's had a good rookie year, 4th round draft pick. He's got 4 touchdowns. They'll fake it to him. Pressure. Ryan escapes. Looking. Hit as he throws. Going deep for Jones. And he dropped it into double coverage. And he got his hands on it but could not come down with it. That was DeMarcus Lawrence who got big pressure.
And I know Falcons fans are disappointed that Julio Jones didn't come down with this one. But the truth of the matter is he actually made an excellent play. That ball's up for grabs. He's covered by 2 people. There could have been someone else who picked off that pass wearing white. They end up getting away with nothing there. Look at the pressure. Lawrence flushes him. He steps up away from Collins, and then Lawrence comes back and affects the throw.
Second down, it's Smith, and he has nowhere to go. That Cowboys defensive line got great push up the middle. Leighton Vander Esch, Charles, who you spoke of, he leads this team in tackles. He hasn't even started every game, but with Sean Lee out, he's been almost Sean Lee.
He's one of those guys who has an innate instinct to find the football. He only was a 1-year starter at Boise State, a former walk-on there, had 141 tackles in the 1 season. So you know him getting around the football is just part of who he is.
We showed you Sean Lee, who's just such a great player and a leader, but he's had injury problems the last few years, dealing with a hamstring again. And here comes a 3rd and 10. Four-man rush. Pressure coming. Ryan steps away, and down he goes. Lawrence, I think, will get credit for the sack because he had big push coming off that left side.
Yeah, he'll get credit for it, but I do believe Malik Collins, number 96, provided the push you talked about, Kevin. Watch these guys inside wearing white. Collins, number 96, to the left side. Lawrence got there first, and then behind him as well. And look at Matt Ryan there. He gets stepped on by Jake Matthews because of the push in the pass rush. Right there by number 98, Tyrone Crawford. Excellent job by the Cowboys finishing off this drive.
And so Atlanta moves the ball on their opening drive, but they'll have to settle for a Bosher punt. Gets it away. Beasley, fair catch, and that's where Dallas will take over on their own 12-yard line. And we'll get to see Ezekiel Elliott coming off a 150-yard game, leaping over people on the field. Next. Dak Prescott, who comes off an excellent game at Philadelphia last week. That's one of his best, 72% completion percentage. As a matter of fact, his last 2 weeks, since they got Amari Cooper, he's looked like a different man. And here he's going to launch it far side, going deep right away, incomplete. He was looking for Michael Gallup on that play, who was covered by Trufant. So, Charles, they go out and get Amari Cooper 2 weeks ago, and we talked to Dak yesterday. He is a confident young man. He was different yesterday.
He certainly was. When we saw him before the Detroit game, their conversation about their wide receivers was, can we start playing a few less guys and get more stable? Amari Cooper has really stabilized this wide receiver unit and allowed Cole Beasley even more room to operate.
Although Cooper not in the game right now. They'll give it to Ezekiel Elliott, who will run right side, and Elliott has a good game. He's going to pick up about 6 on first down. Elliott coming off a monster game, his 5th career 150-yard game against Philadelphia last week.
See those guys right there on their screen? They've got to play really well up front and hold the point of attack and cut down the space Ezekiel Elliott has to run the football. If he chews them up and gets to the 2nd and 3rd level all game long, it's going to be a tough afternoon for Atlanta.
Amari Cooper checks into the game for Dallas. He will be at the bottom of your screen on a 3rd and 4. Three-man rush only. Prescott waiting, firing, complete. It's a first down. It's Swaim, the tight end, who came back to make the catch, and he'll move the chains all the way out to the 30 as he picks up 12.
To watch Jeff Swaim, the tight end, comes into the game with 22 catches on the year. Look how he just shows his numbers back to the quarterback. Presents an excellent target, And look at Dak Prescott in the pocket. Scans the field to his left, comes back to his right, and throws a dart to Jeff Swaim. Look how he comes back to the football so a defender can't affect it.
On first down, it's going to be a keeper by Prescott, who's only got one there. Vic Beasley defended it well. And Prescott, we know this. He can run. It's almost like you want to see him do it more. He had a game where he had over 80 yards against Jacksonville this year.
And some of these runs today, even that one, serves a purpose. Even though it didn't gain much yardage, it holds the defensive ends. It makes them not get upfield as much looking for Zeke Elliott. Now maybe he gets a little more room for his running back because they also have to play the quarterback and his ability to keep the ball and run it.
Hey, tight, Joe!
He'll throw it over the middle, and he's got a completion. It is the rookie Gallup. Now the ball is out, so let's see. Incomplete is going to be the ruling on the field. Incomplete. Gallup had it for a second, but Alford, I think, may have gotten his hand in there to help knock it away.
You see right there, that ball was thrown. And look at the work that was done by Alford that you pointed out, Kevin. Stayed with it and fought him the entire way. That ball is right in the hands of Gallup, who's a local product, born here in Atlanta, grew up in Monroe, Georgia. But Alford fought him the entire way and knocked the ball out of his hands.
So, Charles, on third down, the Cowboys had been dreadful all year, 32%. But the last two games, 48%. They've been much better in this area. Prescott, pressure, stands back, firing deep, looking for Beasley, incomplete, but a penalty flag on the play. Alford was on the coverage, and now we'll see about the penalty.
I think that the Cowboys will benefit from this one.
There's actually another penalty too, Charles, back at the 40. So there's two different ones.
And we look at Beasley running his route.
There are
and
two
Alford
fouls on the play, both by the defense. Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense, number 23. That penalty's declined. Holding, defense, number 54. That penalty is accepted. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So, Kevin, the play outside we just saw on the replay, he's past the 5-yard zone and Alford contacts him. So that's where the flag went. Then Oluokun, the rookie linebacker out of Yale, he gets called for the hold downfield in the passing situation.
So they will take that one. And Dallas will have a first down from the 36. And they will run it to Elliott, right side, a little stutter step. And he does a heck of a lot of work to get 2 yards on that play. There's your guy, Oluokun, who kind of really blew that play up. But, Charles, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's as you mentioned, it's a heck of a lot of work. But watch how he's going to get into this morass of people, okay? And you mentioned a heck of a lot of work. Well, here's an opportunity. They bounced him outside. Good job by Oluokun, number 54. But right there is an opportunity to put him on the ground, and that one was missed by Terrell McClain, number 99. So him picking up 2 yards when it probably should have been a 3-yard loss, that's really good running by Zeke Elliott.
Second down. Run it here. And patiently working his way all the way out to the 45-yard line is Elliott.
Love your observation there, partner. To be able to talk about that patience of the running back. Watch Ezekiel Elliott. A lot of guys get the football and they just go, whether the hole's there or not. But look at him taking his time, reading. That's a ton of confidence in that offensive line. And why not? Number 70, Zach Martin, was the back that he was reading. He was checking out to see where the hole would open. And when Zach Martin's blocking, one usually does.
So that makes it a third down and 2. Told you Dallas's offense on third down better. Atlanta's D on third down, 31st in the lead. Prescott looks to get rid of it to Beasley. Looking for a block, makes a move, and he should have a first down, and he will. Ishmael made the tackle, but Beasley will move the chains. We've got our first game break of the day. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So Panthers trying to rebound after that tough loss. Their opening drive, Cam Newton takes the handoff, finds Greg Olsen wide open for that 1-yard score. Olsen's 4th touchdown in his last 5 games. Panthers up 7-0. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
Well, the Panthers had 10 days of stew over getting skunked in Pittsburgh, so
you never want to take on a good team coming off of a game like that. Panthers coming in determined in Detroit. The Lions' problems continue in the early going.
We get a timeout call on the field by Atlanta. With 5:40 to go in the first, we are scoreless. Back in a minute. The confidence in the Cowboys since the acquisition of Amari Cooper, you can see it in their quarterback, and they're throwing more. Charles pointed out the third downs have been third and short more. That helps. And here's Prescott to throw it here. Looking to set up a screen. Elliott's got room. Ezekiel Elliott, look out! Inside the 20. "34 yards to Elliott on the screen."
So watch these guys get out here to block. All right, here comes the screen to get set up, and look at the big fellas come out and block. Nice non-block right here by not clipping and not causing a penalty. That's number 78, making that nice play for him. Excuse me, 76, Xavier Su'a-Filo. So what a nice job getting out in front, patiently setting up the screen and chopping people down.
10th play of this drive for Dallas on their opening possession, and it's been a good one. Fake to Elliott, pressure up the middle. Prescott gets rid of it somehow. Swain makes the catch, and instead of a sack by Grady Jarrett, Swain's going to pick up a couple yards. So Jeff Swain, and we get a flag too.
Kevin, how do you think this happened? This shouldn't happen, right? But it's the strength and the size of Dak Prescott that kept him upright when Grady Jarrett had him wrapped up. He's 6'2", 238 listed. There's some Big Ben Roethlisberger qualities in there.
No foul on the play.
Hard to get him on the ground.
As the act on the sideline was legal. It was second down.
Not sure what the act was on the sideline, but since it was legal, there's no foul, and we keep moving.
The act was legal.
The act was legal. But how about the strength, right? We've seen that throughout Big Ben's career. How many times has he shaken someone off? And what do they say? It's not the first 3 seconds you're concerned with. It's the next 3 when he makes the second act. Dak Prescott did it on that play.
11th play of the drive, and they will run it. Elliott, big hole, breaking tackles inside the 5. And a first and goal as Zach Martin plowing open big holes again.
So take a look at all of these guys and then watch as they move. See, right here to the left, everyone's moved. And look at Zach Martin married up there, which gives a gap to Ezekiel Elliott. And Duke Riley doesn't make the tackle in the hole, number 42. See the hole? Here comes Riley, 42. He goes right past him. Now you're deep into the secondary, and KZ has to take him on.
It's the longest opening drive for the Cowboys this year. 12th play coming up. Amari Cooper lined up top of your screen here on a zone read. Prescott rolling, completing. It's Beasley. No, incomplete. Boy, you don't see Beasley drop many passes. And it looked from our vantage point that he had it, but he couldn't hang on.
That's something that happens rarely because this is so well executed. Watch number 11 in white. Gives him a little slow play like he's going to block with Brian Poole and then breaks away. And the ball hit him in the worst possible places. One of my coaches used to say, right in the hands. And it ends up bouncing off. That won't happen very often with Cole Beasley.
So a gimme touchdown, and the Cowboys will try it again on 2nd and goal. Prescott. Well, a little option here. Pitch out to Elliott. Beasley there. Breaks a tackle. Here come the swarm of Falcons. Well done. As Elliott is going to be held to a gain of about 1.5 yards at a 3rd and goal now.
Vic Beasley came out of Clemson as a combination outside linebacker, defensive end. He has not made the plays they've expected in the sack department over the last couple of seasons, but his speed there forced Ezekiel Elliott to turn it back in to where there was help. If he doesn't turn it back inside, he probably beats him to the corner for a touchdown.
A little surprising he comes out here.
I'm always surprised when he goes off the field.
So Rod Smith comes in for him, number 45. 3rd and goal. Prescott looking, firing, incomplete. Nice play. It was Desmond Trufant who knocked it away. They were trying to get it to Cooper, and after that long drive, they'll settle for a field goal try.
And they'll have to settle for a field goal because of a drop by Cole Beasley on 1st down. Watch Cooper trying to set up, and a good job and really a hold inside there that he gets away with. Desmond Trufant had both hands wrapped around Cooper, gets them off in time, and helps knock the ball away. He did a nice job staying inside and not letting him beat him too much towards the goalpost.
So you see Brett Maher, who's missed field goals now in the last 3 games. This one only from 21 yards out. And it's up and good. So the Cowboys on the board, a long drive that have liked to have 7, but they'll take the 3, and they're up early in Atlanta. Elliott making plays. Well, everything on the screen right now, it's the longest opening drive Cowboys have had in terms of plays, in terms of time, in terms of yards. The only disappointment, Charles, is they had a gimme touchdown to a guy who never drops passes, Cole Beasley.
Yeah, that's tough for them. They won't get that very often, but as you pointed out with Brett Maher, who missed 3 of his last 5 field goals, to have that go through the posts has to help his confidence.
No doubt. 21-yard field goal. And the Falcons will start their second possession on their own 25 with 2:56 to go in the first. Matt Ryan's having an unbelievable year, almost overshadowed because of the great quarterback play around the league, but it's really, Charles, on par with his MVP year in 2016. Some areas better than his MVP season. You look at the completion percentage is better, yards per game a little bit better, 21 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and the passer rating is just a shy below. He's been fantastic.
He absolutely has, but today in the first series, the Cowboys defensive front imposed their will, so his offensive line has got to find a way to protect him.
4-man rush. He's got protection here, and he's got a completion. It is Calvin Ridley, who's had a splendid rookie year, and is a guy that many thought would be a Cowboy, including him.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to get drafted that day when the Cowboys number came up. They took Leighton Vander Esch, and they're very happy. And so is Atlanta, that he ended up falling to them. And look at him get inside, and nice hands as the ball was slightly behind him, tucks it away for a first down.
Gain of 14. Blitz coming. Coleman sees it, reverses course, left side, big gain. Tevin Coleman has a first down and then some, and a gain of 15 yards. We've got another game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So Lamar Jackson getting the start in place of an injured Joe Flacco. Opening drive. There were 0 pass attempts, by the way, on this drive. Jackson handing it off to Alex Collins for the score. Ravens up early, 7-0. Kevin?
Look at Alex Collins doing his signature Irish dancing.
Love that.
Proponent of it.
Meanwhile, the Bengals defense has given up 500 yards on back-to-back weeks. Good run by Coleman there. Back-to-back first downs. Ryan, another play pass. Sanu has his first grab of the day in traffic inside the 30. All the way down to the 29 is Mohamed Sanu. These weapons, the Falcons on display.
And one thing the Falcons do really well, they make their pass plays look like running plays. A lot of misdirection in the backfield gave Sanu a chance to find some space downfield. And Kevin, similar to when we saw Dallas against Detroit, Detroit spent their time sending their receivers in the direction of Chidobe Awuzie, number 24. Atlanta doing the same thing early in this one against Dallas.
Good matchup. Julio Jones against Byron Jones, top of your screen. They will run it. Marvin Hall comes around, gets it, and oh, what a tackle! Leighton Vander Esch took on a block and made the play.
Not only did he make a great tackle, watch how he plays off the block of number 70, Jake Matthews, one of the better left tackles in the league. So if you look right here, watch Vander Esch. Plays off the block, separates from him, and makes an excellent form tackle in the open field. He always talks about being an 8-man football player back in Riggins, Idaho. This is why. In 8-man football, it's a lot of space. You have to be a good open field tackler. Vander Esch takes those lessons to the NFL.
That was some play. Made the play of the game last week on defense, too, in their win over Philadelphia. Ryan. The throw gets it to Ito Smith in that same area. And he's going to come up shy of a first down, bring up a third down, and likely will also bring the end of quarter number 1. So a good first quarter here in Atlanta. Cowboys on the board first. Falcons on the move, though, and a big third down when we come back. 3-0 Dallas after 1. Good competitive first quarter, kind of what you'd expect. 2 4-5 teams that desperately need a win today as they're in this playoff chase, but on the outside looking in. And so the Falcons with the football down 3-0, have a third down and 4 from the Dallas 23. There's Ryan. Pressure coming. Ryan sees it, gets rid of it, no one home. Looking for Julio Jones, but maybe miscommunication as Byron Jones was on good coverage anyway.
Well, the timing got thrown off because of the pass rush. Matt Ryan felt it coming from his right side and moved to his left and got rid of the ball, probably a count earlier than he wanted to, as well as excellent coverage downfield by Byron Jones, number 31, on Julio Jones. I want to see if Steve Sarkisian, as the game goes on, the offensive coordinator for Atlanta, moves Julio more to Awuzie's side and less going up against Byron Jones.
Agreed. We'll look at that as the game goes on. Matt Bryant's been out a month with a hamstring injury, and at 43 years old, just as good as he was 20 years ago. Tries to tie this game up from 41 yards out, and what a shot. It's perfect. He is something else. Matt Bryant is back, picking up where he left off, and we are all tied in the ATL. Well, that's Deion Jones, a Pro Bowl linebacker for Atlanta. He's been out since week 1 with a broken foot. They were thinking maybe they could get him back here today, but he's just not there yet. He was practicing this week, so maybe next week. He's a huge loss. I mean, he's extremely athletic. Speaking of huge losses, the Cowboys have been without that man all year long. Travis Frederick, he's another guy, Pro Bowl center, who's dealing with Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's an autoimmune disease. It's a tough thing. He had a good news week, though. He finally started to get some feeling in his fingers. It's a nerve issue, so now he's hoping it comes back in his legs, but progress. And we're hoping that it continues to get better for Frederick, who's an outstanding player for Dallas. And so Joe Looney, number 73, has played center all year long.
And now Travis Frederick, you saw him with a headset on trying to help out his guys. Remember, they had a change in coaches. Paul Alexander was let go as the offensive line coach. Mark Colombo took over. And now Travis Frederick tried to help Colombo as kind of a de facto assistant coach with the O-line.
Second possession for Dallas. Here is Elliott. Let's get a report down to the field with Pam Oliver.
Kevin, the Falcons had 2 defensive starters who were injured in the early stages of this game. Safety DeMonte KZ, he has suffered a shoulder injury. He has been able to return. Linebacker Duke Riley, he has a neck stinger. Riley is questionable. Back to you.
Okay, so we already told you that Deion Jones is out. Now Riley, who is another starter, he is out. So the Falcons will mix and match. They got Kamal Ishmael in there at linebacker right now, number 36. Second down. Prescott. Pressure up the middle and hit as he threw, and that may have affected things. He was trying to get it to Amari Cooper, and Pam's just talking about injuries, and now here's Desmond Trufant, who's down and not getting up. He's their number 1 cornerback.
It has been the absolute worst case scenario in terms of injuries for this Atlanta team all year long. Many people saw them as a Super Bowl contender going into the season. And right out of the gate, you lose Keanu Neal, who's their Pro Bowl safety. And on this move by Cooper, he ends up catching a shot from the backside. Looked like number 59, Devondre Campbell, his own teammate, whacks him from the backside while he was trying to cover, hoping that it's just a bruise for Trufant, and he'll have an opportunity to get back into the ballgame. Let's see what they do. Probably Isaiah Oliver, number 20, the rookie out of Colorado, who started 2 games, should come in and play one of the corners now for the Falcons.
That will be the case for Dan Quinn's crew. You talked about the injuries. I mean, it's tough. They not only have had injuries, they've lost, Pro Bowl players.
Yes, you're not just talking about guys getting hurt. You're talking about guys that have credentials that are getting hurt and team leaders. That's why KZ, as Pam Oliver reported, his ability to come back in the game is huge down the middle for the Falcons. Leads the NFL in interceptions with 5.
Okay, so a third down as Oliver is in. Looks like he's going to trail Cole Beasley. Cowboys need to get to the 35. It's a blitz. Prescott hit as he throws. It's a floater. Incomplete. Boy, that was dangerous. There was Oliver on the coverage on Beasley, and some pressure helped that happen, and the Cowboys will punt it away.
That felt like Dak Prescott was trying to throw Cole Beasley to another area and couldn't get enough on it. He's trying to throw the ball out here and didn't get enough on it, hoping Cole could run away from him. Watch Dak in the pocket. The pressure you talked about, Kevin. See how he's trying to get that ball all the way out into the flat? But because of the pressure, he couldn't step into the throw and didn't get enough on it.
It's like when you bring the Nerf ball to the beach, Charles. The wind is just too much to overcome.
Even when you play for it.
And it never gets there. So a punt here by Jones. Hardy makes a move across the 40 and gets out to the 43. And so the Falcons will have good field position to see their explosive offense take the field. They are number 8 in the league, 27 points a game. So far this game, tied at 3. Chris Richard, passing game coordinator, but he calls the plays on defense for Dallas against Steve Sarkisian, who's got this offense humming this year. Charles, a couple thoughts about this offense after this play as they will throw it. Quick hitter, it's Hooper. Oh, he dropped it. A couple guineas today that are dropped. No sun on the field or anything like that, so it'll be a second down. But your thoughts about Julio Jones were interesting to me during the break.
Yeah, I think that if I'm Steve Sarkisian, and I've realized early in this ball game that Dallas doesn't really travel their corners, meaning they stay on whatever side they line up on. I'm sending Julio Jones every time to Chidobe Awuzie's side, number 24, and see if I can get him out of that and maybe start traveling things, and then you open things up. Because right now you get your number 1 corner matched up with your number 1 receiver if it's man-to-man.
See, now they make that motion because Dallas plays a lot of zone, and now Ryan looks that way, comes back the other way, not there. Pressure coming. Ryan rolling, looking, throwing complete. Hooper, the tight end, hangs on to that one and lunges forward close to an Atlanta first down.
And they take Julio and move him, and it determines coverage. You noted it there, Kevin, that it's now zone. Anthony Brown just switched sides of formation for strength. It wasn't a man-to-man coverage thing. But watch Matt Ryan's movement in and out of the pocket. Go back to when Kyle Shanahan came here as the offensive coordinator. Prior to that time, Matt Ryan wasn't much of a mover. He forced him into more movement skills. Matt had to work on that, and it's really added an extra element to his game, and now we're going Wildcat.
That's Mohamed Sanu, who can throw the ball and throw it far. And they will do a zone read. Sanu with a first down. And so the Wildcat to Mohamed Sanu, and he picks it up himself. And we've got another game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So the Redskins have not won a game they've trailed all year, hoping to change that today, and this helps. Alex Smith hands it off to Adrian Peterson for a 3-yard score, his 5th of the year. Texans still leading this one 10-7. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
Redskins are fighting, Charles, despite their offensive line being almost totally out.
Listen, they went down to Tampa last week with 4 new offensive linemen as starters and won a ball game. So they've been battling and scrapping all year long to go to number 1 in the NFC East.
Ryan to throw it. Fakes right. Coming back to Hooper's tight end again. Austin Hooper making a move, and another nice gain. 8 yards to the tight end, who's really blossomed in his 3rd year out of Stanford.
And you have to think that Austin Hooper spent a lot of time this week watching the tape of the Philadelphia game. Because Zach Ertz for the Eagles, their tight end, had 14 catches for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. So you know he was going to Matt Ryan saying, hey, let's try and use some of that stuff that they did. And what they're trying to do is spread things out with Dallas and work underneath with either Hooper or a running back. And so far, it's been successful.
Yeah, Hooper already 3 catches. On second down, pitch it, Coleman. Good cut. Coleman breaks a tackle. And he's going to be still a little short of a first down. Lawrence, the initial tackler, and then Van Der Esch actually brought him down. So it'll be a 3rd down and maybe less than 1. Falcons get to the line quick, and they will sneak it with Matt Ryan, and they pick it up. Quarterback sneak works, and a first down for Atlanta. And we'll see if they keep that tempo going now. They went up tempo a lot of the second half against Cleveland last week when they were trying to get a rhythm. See that push. Steps away, running for his life, taken down. Randy Gregory with the sack.
So if you're Randy Gregory, you've got to point to the back end of your defense and say thank you, because the coverage was good. Did not allow Matt Ryan to see anything downfield that he could pull the trigger and find someone open. And instead, he has to try and hot-foot it out of there. But Randy Gregory, one of the reasons he was drafted, his speed off of the edge and ability to chase people down, and he gets it done.
Calvin Ridley lines up now. In the backfield, they'll pitch it to him. Breaks a tackle. Ridley trying to get to the edge. It does so. The ball is loose, picked up by Atlanta. See if they mark him out of bounds just before the 30-yard line. Jones recovered it.
And Gregory very nearly made a second play, a second big-time play. Watch Gregory, 94 in white. He ends up having Ridley bow out just a little bit more, and a really nice job there, pushing back the blocker, Justin Hardy, back into the secondary. And then that allows there, and he stepped out before the ball comes out, I believe. Watch the left foot. See the left foot there? And now the ball's starting to come out. As long as he's touching any part of it, he's considered out of bounds.
3rd down and 7 now. It's Ito Smith in the game. Falcons on 3rd and longs, the best in the NFL. Pressure again. Ryan sees it, and down he goes. It's Lawrence again, and the 3rd sack for the Cowboys in this first half.
Right here. Look at this. And he just takes Ryan Schrader and just goes right around him. That's the 5th sack given up in the statistics that I've noted this year by Ryan Schrader. And just great pressure, great hustle by DeMarcus Lawrence. Remember, he'll move from side to side, Kevin, for best matchups. I think he likes his matchup against Schrader, number 73, the best in this one today.
Just think about last year when they met. The Cowboys gave up 8 sacks to the Falcons. Here, it's almost the roles reversed. Dallas already has 3 sacks of Matt Ryan, and they will take over possession on their own 10 with 8:09 to go in this first half. DeMarcus Lawrence, 2 sacks, and he hits on the high five celebration. We're all tied in Atlanta. Well, the Cowboys defensive line, Pam Oliver told us at the beginning of the broadcast here, without 4 players. And you know what? It hasn't showed. They're playing great. They've got 3 sacks on Matt Ryan. And we've got a tie game at 3 with 8:09 to go in the first half. Here is a delayed handoff to Elliott, who's got 5 yards on 1st down. I mentioned as we went to break last year, Charles, I mean, they had Chad Green playing at left tackle because Tyron Smith was hurt. Adrian Claiborne, who's no longer here, had 6 sacks. The Falcons had 8. It was a nightmare for Dallas, and it really sent them on a tailspin for the rest of the year. As a matter of fact, not only did it send them on a tailspin, you know, Dak Prescott, because now it's Ryan facing the pressure today. Prescott was very honest that he said really until a few weeks ago that game affected him, and we'll tell you why after this play. 1st down and 10. Or excuse me, a 2nd and 5 after the run to Elliott. Prescott going to dump it off Elliott. That's the 1st down, so it'll be 1st down and 10. But I thought that was a really honest admission from him.
And what he meant was, and as he explained to us, there's a clock that every quarterback feels. And they always talk about, hey, on defense, can you speed up the clock that a quarterback has in the pocket? Meaning, how much time do I have to get rid of the football successfully downfield? So if you can speed that up and take that time away, they'll rush, make inaccurate throws, people won't be open. He feels like even when there wasn't pressure, the clock was sped up because of that ball game and the number of sacks he absorbed. He's now settling back in and feeling like he's back on a normal time schedule.
He's not rushing, maybe taking more sacks, but he's trying to make a play. Here he stands in there tall, and he throws over the middle to Beasley, who's out to the 29. So a gain of 6. But to your point, Prescott on trying to slow down the clock in his head. And you look at it, since the Atlanta game last year, the next 12 games into this year, he threw a lot of interceptions, and he was sacked 30 times. Now, in the last 4 games, he's been sacked a lot, but the interceptions are down. He's being a little bit more patient. Do you think that's a good thing?
I think it's an excellent thing because the ability to hold on to the football, not turn it over, gives you more opportunities to hand it to number 21.
As Elliott here, it'll bring up a 3rd down. Elliott will again take a rest. Cowboys today 2 of 4 on 3rd down. We haven't seen Amari Cooper yet for Dallas. They tried to get it to him twice, both incomplete, and now Cooper will be on the bottom of your screen. Four-man rush. Prescott, pressure up the middle, dancing away, down he goes. He tried to get away, but Vic Beasley was there for his second sack of the year.
And that's just his fourth sack in his last 19 games. And remember, this is a guy at 15.5 sacks just a few seasons ago. And here's Desmond Trufant back from the thigh injury. He locks on to Amari Cooper. Look at the other side. Robert Alford stays, fights through the screen, and he plasters on to Michael Gallup. And then Dak Prescott trying to dance and get away from Vic Beasley, who has great agility himself. And he finally wins a battle and gets the quarterback down.
Here is Jones on the punt. This is a low sinker. Hardy's going to let it bounce. Now he changes his mind. That's a good decision because that would have went way down the field. And so the Cowboys, oh, their offense couldn't get it going. Who knew? A lot of defense here today. 3-3 game in the second quarter. A couple of owners watching the game today, and a couple of great owners. Arthur Blank from the Falcons on the left, Jerry Jones from the Cowboys on the right. Mr. Blank, always very hospitable to us when we get to Atlanta. We appreciate that. Here's Coleman on a big run. Unfortunately, 2 flags. You certainly have the feeling that may be coming back.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Okay. That's on Schweitzer, the left guard.
And it was so noticeable that both the referee and the umpire caught it at the same time. And you see right there, number 71 with 2 fistfuls of jersey on Karan Reed, number 51, who's playing a whale of a game. Coming into here, third on our depth chart, Kevin, was Karan Reed. And with all the injuries that Pam Oliver detailed at the top of our show that the Cowboys have in the defensive front, he's getting extended playing time and taking advantage of it.
Charles, they were close to activating Leon Lett, who coaches that group.
Can we get a couple of pass rushes out of you, big man?
So after the penalty, 1st and 20, here's Ryan near side. Ridley's wide open, makes the grab and shoved out of bounds at the 41. It's been a rare time that Ryan's been tied with throw. He's been under duress today quite a bit. Charles mentioned Reed, there it was, and Charles, it's really been the theme.
It really has, hasn't it? And that was early in the game. And look at him trying to step up, find people in the secondary, got involved there with good coverage. And then DeMarcus Lawrence, relentless off of the edge. Swipes at it, doesn't get him, stays with it, and finally puts him on the deck.
3 sacks for the Cowboys. Lawrence with 2. Second down. Ryan gonna let it go, looking for Julio Jones, and it's intercepted. Oh, what a hit by Jones! Julio Jones turned into a safety and drilled Jeff Heath. That was unbelievable. So twice today he has saved interceptions.
And look at how he goes from offense to defense. Look at his eyes. He sees the play, and he literally tackles Jeff Heath to make sure there's not an interception. How about that football IQ and the awareness to understand what he's doing? A lot of receivers, ball's not there, they give up on the play. Julio Jones protects his team, protects his quarterback, and gives them another opportunity.
And unfortunately for Dallas, Jeff Heath got hurt. I mean, he got licked, as you can see, so hopefully he's okay. He comes off, and Kayvon Frazier will come on.
Jeff Heath is used to dealing the blows. One of the better hitters in the league. He takes one from Julio Jones, Secretariat, goes right through number 38.
That was unbelievable. What a play by Jones, and we get a timeout for Dallas on this 3rd down. And we'll be right back after this message from Bose. So Jeff Heath is now, looks like he is going to be he's going to go into the 10. I see. Okay, so they'll check him out after sustaining that hit. Julio Jones, Charles, Steve Sarkisian said it best. We were talking about his blocking.
Yeah.
He just said star receivers don't do stuff like that.
They always talk about the skill players. How do you play without the football? That determines how great you are. Julio Jones for Atlanta, Ezekiel Elliott for Dallas. Both of them play awfully hard when they don't have the ball in their hands.
All that said is the 3rd down. Pressure coming. Ryan gets rid of it, and Sanu with a great catch. He saw the hit coming. He ducked under it, and he's got a 1st down for Atlanta.
Absolutely fearless is Mohamed Sanu. And look at Matt Ryan, sees it and delivers it. A beautifully thrown football, but it's going to be some traffic. Sanu knows it. From the left side, out of the corner of his eye, sees it and finds a way to get his big frame, 6'2", down on the ground without absorbing a big hit.
Pitch near side, it's Smith, and he is buried. Byron Jones came up from the cornerback spot to make the initial play, and Ito Smith's going to lose a couple.
And watch the safety numbers, excuse me, the corner number 30, Anthony Brown, to the left side of your screen. Look at him. He just takes Jake Matthews and Justin Hardy trying to block. See them? They're double teaming him. But what he did was he forced Ito Smith to bow back a little bit farther, which allowed now Byron Jones, unencumbered, to come up and make the play. He's not always the tackler that deserves all of the credit. Nice job there by Brown.
Second down. Ryan near side. He's got Hooper's tight end again. He works his way down to the 40. So he's going to pick up 6 in a 3rd and long as Van Der Esch on yet another tackle, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So a defensive game. We like it here in Atlanta. It's been a fun one. Two teams who desperately need it. We're tied at 3. 2-minute warning. Minutes to go in this first half from Atlanta, along with Pam Oliver, Charles Davis. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Good to have you aboard. Defensive battle here. And if the Falcons somehow keep this drive going, it's all on Julio Jones, who smashed Jeff Heath and took away a surefire interception. But they've got a 3rd and 8 coming up now. Four-man rush. Ryan going to Julio Jones. Who else? First down on the slants. And as Charles has been begging for, he was working against Awuzie there.
And I will guarantee you Matt Ryan had that in pre-snap. When he saw the coverage, it was man-to-man underneath, 2 safeties back, 2-man coverage. So he knows that Julio Jones against Awuzie, he'll take that matchup any day. Goes to his meal ticket, beats him off the line of scrimmage inside for a key first down.
By the way, Charles, Jeff Heath is back in the ballgame for Dallas, so he's okay after that hit. Here's Ryan going to swing it to Coleman, looking for a block. Tevin Coleman gets inside the 30 before DeMarcus Lawrence spun him to the ground with 1:14 to go, each team with 2 timeouts.
Get the sense that Atlanta would love to have more opportunities to get their backs isolated on the Dallas linebackers. Jalen Smith, Leighton Van Der Esch have done a terrific job this year. Both of them are great movers, good in space. But Atlanta loves what Ito Smith brings, what Tevin Coleman brings in the open field. They'd like to take some more shots at them in the open field.
Atlanta taking their time. Ryan going deep. Sanu almost. He did a pirouette in the air. Brown had nice coverage and a 3rd and 6 with 39 seconds left.
And Randy Gregory had himself wrapped around Matt Ryan, so he couldn't step into the throw. But he put it up high, hoping that Mohamed Sanu could win the 50-50 ball. And he did give him the best opportunity. See, Sanu sees it and makes a play on the football, just unable to come down with it because he had to essentially 360 to go and try and catch it with the coverage from Anthony Brown.
From here, it's a 45-yard field goal, well within Matt Bryant's range, but they're looking for more. On 3rd down, blitz coming, picked up. Ryan still gets pressure, throws incomplete. Heath was all over Hooper, pressure coming from everywhere.
Looked like big 55, Van Der Esch was harassing Matt Ryan. So you've noted it a couple of times, Kevin, more than a couple of times, the pressure. There's Randy Gregory forcing him to step up. Look at Van Der Esch in the ground he covers, eating up the space between himself and the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And Ryan trying to throw back inside. The ball actually bounced off, it appears, of Van Der Esch's pads and almost went up for grabs.
Yeah, they picked up the initial blitz by Jalen Smith, but then Van Der Esch came on to make the play. So a 45-yard try from Matt Bryant to give Atlanta the lead. Snap and hold are good, and Bryant is good too. Matt Bryant back from the hamstring injury. He's 2 for 2 today, and Atlanta takes the lead with 29 seconds to go in the half. As we get a chance now, why don't we check in with Kurt Menefee, who I hear may be at the Fun Factory, Charles.
Hey, did you hear the one about the Texans? They flew into Washington, and boy, their arms tired. And what's the deal with the Jaguars? I mean, why are they 3-6? Am I right? Is this thing on? Seriously, folks, the Visa halftime is next. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Appreciate it.
Kurt is a heck of a host.
Make sure you tip your waiter.
Not sure about the comedy just yet, but he is the best. And that halftime show is coming up in just a bit. Well, that field goal courtesy of Julio Jones, as we noted.
Certainly was. I mean, there should have been an interception. He turned it into an incompletion. Just look at how he turns from offense to defense. And he's not just trying to, look at that. That's a full tackle. And Jeff, he felt the effects and had to go out of the game for a while. He kept that drive alive to give them the opportunity to get the 3 points. Mohamed Sanu with a key catch on the drive.
And now he's coaching them up. So Bosher on the kick, and Dallas will be at the 25 with 29 seconds left and 2 timeouts, so they've got some time. Charles, I know you're ready for this one. Saturday, one of the fiercest rivalries in all of sports is number 4 Michigan and number 10 Ohio State battling for a spot in the Big Ten Championship. Coverage begins Saturday at 11 Eastern on Fox, or of course on the Fox Sports app. What do you think, man?
Tell you what, Northwestern's already in the other bracket. I think Michigan's playing much better football than Ohio State right now. And I know it's 13 out of 14. Haven't won Columbus since 2000. I'm just going to pose it to you this way, Kevin. If not now, Michigan, when? This is the year.
Certainly is. That'll be Saturday. 2 timeouts, 29 seconds left. Prescott got to let it fly far side of the field. Good coverage there as Alford was all over Michael Gallup. And so a 2nd and 10. And as a reminder, the Cowboys do get the ball after the half, so they could somehow squeak together a field goal try here. They'd be ecstatic.
People have been really getting on the corners of the Falcons in recent weeks, and Robert Alford and Desmond Trufant, and questioning how well they've been playing. Trufant took a blow earlier in the game, hurt his thigh. Pam Oliver reported about him being out and then back in the ball game. Then we have Alford on the other side. I think both of them today have done a nice job holding up against these receivers.
2nd down, they'll run it on the draw to Elliott and breaks a tackle. And he works his way out to the 35 where the Cowboys will call a timeout. I think. Yep. There it is with 15 seconds to go. Charles, we came on the broadcast talking about Amari Cooper and his effect on the Cowboys, especially Dak Prescott. Well, look, they've gotten to him the last 2 games coming into today. 18 times. He caught 11 balls, 10 for first downs, almost for Dallas. And Prescott's completion percentage, his 2 best completion percentage games were the last 2 games. So it's kind of odd that today they've targeted him a couple times but didn't have a single catch.
And I think they have to continue to force feed him a little bit into the offense and give him opportunities to make plays downfield. I would take a couple of the deeper shots as well. It's the one element that they haven't gotten together with yet in their 3 games together.
Prescott just gets it to Elliott over the middle. Elliott sizing things up, and good tackle in the open field by Aluakon with 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Wait, is Dallas going to call a timeout? You got a chance at least for a Hail Mary here. Wow, a little surprised that they let the half run out. They could have at least taken a shot, but they decide not to do that. And so we go to break with a 6-3 Atlanta lead. Halftime show coming up. Kurt Menefee and the guys. Let's go to LA for that right now. Probably Bobby Reed's best work since he's been on our crew. That's impressive. That was today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. And this game has been about kickers because it is 6-3. The Falcons in front of the Cowboys at the half. And there's a lot of things taken from this game, Charles. Both defenses playing pretty well. Dallas, you expected that. Atlanta, maybe not so much. I'm just curious if you think Dallas should run the ball more because Ezekiel Elliott is averaging 5 yards a carry. I would think so. And right now, with them throwing the football more than running it, I think that plays more to what Atlanta does better. It's pass defense and maybe get a little bit of a pass rush. But when you can tamp things down with Ezekiel Elliott, plus he's now a threat in the passing game. He has 3 catches for 50 yards. I think that's the way I would travel if I were the Cowboys. Elliott in that first half, 9 carries, 47 yards. That's 5.2 a clip. They've been trying to get the pass game working, trying to get Cooper involved. They've targeted him multiple times, but he doesn't have a catch. And to your point, that's what Elliott has done in this first half. And you have a feeling if they're going to win today, it's going to get on his back again.
And I think I would still continue. I would not go away from Amari Cooper. Still continue to find matchups, give him opportunities, because he's one catch away from a big play.
Here go 42. Hey, LA. Hey, man, right there, solid. Drag.
And we start the third quarter with Prescott back to throw and throwing complete. There is Amari Cooper. As you said, Charles, he's going to pick up 9. Let's go down to the sidelines with Pam.
Hey, Kevin, the refrain I heard coming from the Falcons locker room was reset. Dan Quinn told me that they started poorly on third down, but felt like they improved as it went along. Coming in, the idea was to get pressure on Dak Prescott. He says we've done okay with that, but we've got to tackle him and hit him hard. As for Jason Garrett, he told me that we're doing a great job getting pressure on Matt Ryan. That's helping us to neutralize some of the guys outside.
Oh, that's for sure. Pam, here's Elliott. Nice move, and the patient runner works his way out to the 48. 14 yards from Elliott.
And Dan Quinn and Marquand Manuel, the defense coordinator for Atlanta, they had a run blitz dialed up here. Watch number 41, Sherrod Niesman. He's a safety. This is a play he has to make. Got him in the backfield, doesn't even come close. That play has to be made. Eyes have to stay up, has to run through and get some contact on Ezekiel Elliott. He made him totally whip on that play and continues to traverse his way upfield.
That's Allen Burns in motion. Longest run of the day from Elliott. And so they'll give it to him again. Why not? Bursting up the middle. And again, I mean, it's 5 yards a carry easily. This one is 6. And I thought Dan Quinn had a great nugget about Elliott, right? When he was describing Elliott, he said, with him, it's wait. With us, it's the opposite.
We want to go. And on defense, that's hard to do, to slow yourself down and make sure you stay behind a play and then accelerate to finish the play. Defenders, they just take off and go. And Elliott, he uses that against defenders and turns it into positive gains.
Good start to this drive for Dallas on the play action. He's got time. Prescott going far side, and Cooper somehow hauls it in. That was good coverage by Trufant, but Amari Cooper brings it down.
And he had the extra pressure of, watch number 41, Niesman, come underneath the route late. He ends up running out into the flat. See 41? So he's going to be on the spot as well. So now you have an extra body that Amari Cooper has to ignore and come down with the football on a contested catch. And Dak Prescott just stays right in there and delivers with Brooks Reed in his chest.
So he had no catches in the first half. He's got 2 catches on this opening drive of the third quarter. With Rod Smith in the game, and he'll get the carry. Here's Smith, gets belted, and no gain.
We'll go back to that last throw by Dak Prescott. You go back to our Fox kickoff show. Michael Vick, who's done it pretty well in this league over time, he said that he thinks Dak Prescott has to trust his eyes and just turn the ball loose. All right, trust it, see it, throw the football. I think that was an example of what Michael Vick was talking about on that last throw. You see it, you trust it, put it out there, and give your top receiver an opportunity to make a play. And Cooper's very good at making those contested catches with people draped on him.
Prescott said as a route runner on a scale of 1 to 10, Cooper is a 12.
That's good, right?
On second down, pressure coming, and down he goes. Vic Beasley. Wow, he's been on such a sack drought, and he's got 2 now on the game. He had 1 all year coming in.
What's helping Vic Beasley is that Dak Prescott is a little bit of a mover. And watch Beasley 44. He's coming from a stand-up position in the right side of your screen. He goes right inside of La'el Collins, number 71. And if it's a play that requires movement and running, that's Vic Beasley's game. Great agility on his feet, chases down Dak Prescott.
Charles, Atlanta only had 17 sacks all year. That's spot of 5 in the league. They've got 2 today, and it brings up a 3rd and 16. It's only a 3-man rush. Prescott's got all day. They get it to Elliott. Inside, makes a move, gets him in a field goal range. He's going to be shy of the first down, but certainly that is within range of Brett Maher, who will try and tie things up.
And that was a call from Marquand Manuel, the D coordinator, Dan Quinn, the head coach, to loosen everything up and say, we'll give you the field goal attempt. We're not going to give you anything big. All right, anything you want to dump underneath, we'll rally up and make the tackle. And that's exactly what they did. And coming into this game, Maher missed 3 of his last 5. He made his first attempt today.
He hit from 21. This from 50. Perfect. And we're tied at 6. Brett Maher on the opening drive of the third quarter. Pretty good one for Dallas. Hope you got a good field goal kicker. You might need it today in Atlanta. 6-6. Cowboys Falcons. Yeah, 6-6 our score here from Atlanta in the early third quarter. Taping up Dak Prescott there.
And that nice spat he wears each and every week.
And led his team on an opening drive and settled for a 50-yard Brett Maher field goal. And that's where we are right now as Maher will kick it on off, and it's a short kick. The ball bounces it around, but then picks it up. And because of the bobble, Atlanta will have it at their own 18-yard line. Well, Dan Quinn is as good as it gets, Charles, as a human being, right? And just some charity work by the Falcons this week. Spirit of the holiday season, delivered turkeys on Tuesday. And then on Friday, the Falcons held a welcome party for the Tragedy Assistance Program. It's called TAPS, for survivors, military survivors. Families met the players, and this is awesome in so many ways. On all the players' helmets today, there's those initials. They are initials of people that were lost to the military, and now they've befriended, these families. As Ryan looking and kind of sidearms it underneath to Logan Paulson on first down.
64 of those families here. Falcons put on a dinner for the families, I believe, on Friday night out at Flowery Branch, out of their facility. Took care of them, welcomed them in today, obviously. Does a wonderful job, and a lot of what Dan Quinn does with his foundation goes to veterans, wounded warriors, and the Falcons organization done a fantastic job of hosting those families. Everyone's getting something good out of it.
I think that's a great thing. Here's Ryan, will hand it off, and a big hole for Coleman. Tevin Coleman, who's been quiet on the ground game. That's easily his longest run of the day for 17 yards.
How about the left side of that offensive line for the Falcons? 71 Wes Schweitzer, 70 Jake Matthews with the center, 51 Alex Mack getting out to the second level, and he swallows up Van Der Esch initially, and that allowed Tevin Coleman to cut back inside. He obscured the vision to Van Der Esch, 55. He lost sight. Coleman takes off, cuts inside for a big gain.
Oh, it's interesting. Coleman's had only 4 carries today. Their wide receivers have had 3 carries. Here's Lawrence. Ryan spins it away. Gets it to Coleman. Breaks free. Tevin Coleman making a big play. He broke out of the tackle with Xavier Woods, and he delivers a first down and a gain of 18.
And Xavier Woods is usually a sure tackler, center field type player, but also tackles well. But how about Matt Ryan? Spins away from DeMarcus Lawrence first. Keeps his composure, gets the ball out in the flat to Tevin Coleman. Play should be over right there on the catch. And Coleman absorbs the blow, lets it go by, and picks up more big yardage.
Coleman gets a breather. Ito Smith back in the game. They'll give it to Smith. And Smith just nowhere to go. Jeff Heath came up from the safety spot and no gain.
I think Jeff Heath thinks it's a lot better to deliver a blow than to catch one after Julio Jones whacked him in the first half and prevented an interception. Jeff's thinking this is more like it's supposed to be. I'm the one making the tackles and hitting people. Still haven't seen the big deep ball from the Falcons yet. Want to see if they want to take a shot with someone and try and really push this one downfield.
They go 5 wide on the play. Ryan comes near side, and it's Jones who's hit immediately by Leighton Van Der Esch. Makes the catch. And Leighton Van Der Esch is slow getting up.
Well, he and Jalen Smith, his partner in tackling, converged at the same time. Both of them read it. Both of them saw it and made their move and got there to help tackle Julio Jones. Look, there's 55, and then guess who gets him? Looks like his teammate on top, and then maybe he got caught a little bit underneath.
So Van Der Esch on one knee on the field. They tend to him. Back after this. Well, Leighton Van Der Esch did walk up under his own power, talking to Sean Lee, his mentor, and Pam tells us he got the wind knocked out of him, but you have to sit out one play when you go out with an injury, and it's a big play, 3rd and 4. Owuzie did a nice job on Jones, and a 4th and 4 is coming up.
He did an excellent job because what Atlanta did was showed bunch formation to the left, 3 receivers to take all of your attention there and make it an isolated one-on-one Julio Jones against Owuzie, and Owuzie does a nice job. See how he's reading the eyes? See how his eyes are into Julio's eyes, and when the arms come up, he brings his arms up and helps affect the catch.
This will be a 53-yard field goal for Matt Bryant, who, by the way, yeah, he's 43, but he has a 57-yarder this year. He's got plenty of leg. Here is Bryant. Yep, good again. Now, Matt Bryant was on the DL for a month with a hamstring, and he's come back like, no big deal. 3 for 3, 53 yards. Falcons back in front. The battle of the field goals. You know, Matt Bryant's been out a month with a hamstring, and he comes back today. Giorgio Tavecchio, who filled in for him, has been great. He had all 5 field goals. And yeah, ho-hum, 3 field goals right down the middle. The last one a 53-yarder. So valuable to these Falcons, and his 3 field goals have them in the lead today. And for more on the ageless Bryant, let's go downstairs to Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Kevin, further evidence that Matt Bryant is the man. He did miss those 3 games, as you mentioned, with the hamstring injury, but hasn't missed a beat. When he's off the field, though, I've seen Bryant keep a heating pad on his back. No official injury news from the Falcons, but perhaps that's a little, you know, incident from his hamstring injuries.
And Pam, he's 43. You know, I mean, he's just trying to keep it loose back there. And I talked to him before the ball game, and he told me he had a great week of work, worked it out very well, and came back with no soreness. But maybe it's a little of that preventive heating pad that he's trying to work on now.
Elliott on the catch. I got news for you. All I do is talk for a living. I had a heating pad on my back the other day.
I'm 54. But there's a lot more than heating pads going on.
In reality, the crazy thing I think about him is he hasn't lost any distance.
No. Look, his all-time career long, I believe, 62.
That won a game in Tampa.
In Tampa Bay. And he's hit 59 in 2016, 57 this year. That was the kick where he hurt his hamstring, and the ball still went through the post. These Falcons kickers, between the 2 of them, absolutely perfect season.
Now it's the Cowboys' turn. 2nd down and 6. It's Elliott on the stretch right, and Ezekiel Elliott is close to a 1st down. We have another game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So the Bucs are trailing 14-7 when Ryan Fitzpatrick's pass intended for Deshaun Jackson, intercepted by Alec Ogletree, takes it in for 6. Giants up in this one, 21-7. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
Well, the Giants having a little life, and Tampa has no life.
Doesn't that sum up their season?
That does.
In a lot of ways for Tampa. Even a tough play turns against them and turns into a pick.
Elliott on 3rd and short, and he's got a 1st down. Forward progress for Elliott. So tough to stop in those situations. You know, I'm looking around the scoreboard today. How about the Indianapolis Colts? They're leading 24-3 over the Titans. They've won 3 in a row. No one's talking about them.
I just wonder if Andrew Luck has been sacked yet. He's gone 4 straight games without being sacked, and that's been the problem that they've had since he's joined the Indianapolis Colts. And was he working on a string of 6 straight games with 3 touchdowns or more in each game? Look out. And so far, we just got the word so far, still hasn't been sacked.
Impressive. Zeke Elliott's impressive. 72 yards on the ground so far today. He'll get it again. Stutter step and a spin, and he's down to the 40. I mean, he's averaging 5.5 yards a carry. There's really no reason to not give it to him at this point.
I think very hard about what is the strength of my team if I'm Dallas. And we've said that the offensive line isn't the same as it has been, but still their strength is moving piles and running the football. So I would think about a little bit of attrition here in the 2nd half. Lean on those big guys up front, led by Zach Martin, number 70, their all-pro guard, and see what you can do with him, the rest of those offensive linemen, and Zeke Elliott.
Jordan Lewis is in the game, a cornerback. That's him. He gets it on the jet sweep. Lewis, good run, as he's going to be out to the 45. He'll be about a half-yard shy of a 1st down. He's done that before this year. They put him in motion. That's the 2nd carry of the season for Lewis. Charles, the Cowboys made some offensive line changes. Paul Alexander was fired middle of the year. It doesn't happen very often for an O-line coach. Hudson Howard's been around the game for a long time.
But he's really more of an advisory role now, isn't he?
Mark Colombo
is taking over.
Yep, that's the guy who played for the Cowboys.
Taking over and back giving them the techniques that they've been utilizing previously in blocking. Paul Alexander had a different way of doing things. They didn't adapt to it very well.
3rd and 1. They'll give it to Elliott. And the ball is loose. It's on the ground. Dallas picks it up, but now where is the ball? It looks from here like it'll be enough for a first down, and it is. So they get a little lucky. Elliott's fumbled 3 times this year, but Cowboys get it back.
And Lyle Collins, I believe, is the one. And look at that ball getting popped free on the tackle. I believe that's 95. Jack Crawford, the former Cowboy, who comes down the line of scrimmage, pops it loose. The scramble occurs. The blocking is still going there by Tyron Smith, and he can advance the football there. All right. So there it is, and Lyle Collins advances it and picks up a first down. So many linemen doing more and more ball drills because possession is so valuable in the NFL nowadays. They get them familiar with having it in their hands.
Prescott, pressure coming, set up a screen to Smith. Rod Smith, spin move, and into midfield before Oluokun. He's had a pretty nice day in the middle of that Falcons defense. Makes the tackle. Richards was there as well.
And watch the spin move by Smith, because Zach Martin has the block right there on Richards. And Richards holds his ground, does a nice job, but that allows Zach Martin to get a second block in. But the job that Richards did in holding up that screen kept it from being a bigger game.
Elliott's back in the game. And they'll give it to him. Running right. Elliott cuts to the outside, and I feel like I've said this all day. He's close to another Cowboys first down for Devondre Campbell. Forces him out. Looks like where they put that down, that should be a first down, and it will be, I believe.
I just think you just go on the backs of these guys up front now. Joe Looney, 73. He's now in there, of course, taking over for Travis Frederick, who's out. Zach Martin, number 70, right guard. Lyle Collins, 71, right tackle. Xavier Su'a-Filo, 76. Now they're starting left guard, and 77, Tyron Smith. They're all pro left tackle. I would just lean on them in the running game. Not that you don't throw it anymore, but your primary is to run the football and let Zeke Elliott go.
That is Mark Colombo, we were talking about earlier, the former Cowboys right tackle, now the O-line coach. Cowboys running it a lot in the second half. They've almost run it as much as passed it. And Elliott there with not much room. To say though, Charles, despite all that, and despite Elliott getting big chunks on the ground, Falcons defense came in. They're 29th in the NFL. They've held their own today.
They haven't made it easy. All right, there haven't been those big 30-40 yard runs. All right, they've gotten chunks at times. Don't get me wrong, but as you said, they have not given up that monster play that really shreds the defense. But if I'm Dallas, continue to rely on the running game, lean on them, and see if you can wear them down as this game gets deeper into it.
Bringing the fullback Olawale, but they'll throw it. Prescott near side, completes. Cooper makes a move for a first down. Dak Prescott with a good throw, and then Amari Cooper, and you hear some coo chants from the Cowboys fans here, and he picks up 16 yards.
Yeah, when it's Atlanta, it's Hoop for Austin Hooper. Dallas, Coop for Amari Cooper, and Brian Poole tries to get underneath it just outside of his hand, and Cooper gave this thing rolling. But what were they able to do, Kevin? Find him out in the flat off of play action, because the running game has been established very well here in the second half.
Another methodical drive by Dallas, 11th play of this one. Prescott, time, get it to Smith, one-handed catch in the flat, and he's down to the 19 for a pickup of 6 yards.
He has really remade himself as a football player, as Rod Smith. You know, he's at Ohio State. He was a fullback. He was a lead guy, a blocker, didn't touch it very much. You know why he was a fullback? Because Ezekiel Elliott showed up. I mean, that kind of takes that away from him. He was a goal line runner for them. And here in Dallas now, backing up Zeke, showing his ability to catch the football out of the backfield, pass protect, and do all the things you need from a running back.
So the Falcons have the lead, but the Cowboys on the move. End of the third quarter from Atlanta. Should be a fun fourth. It's another long drive by the Cowboys as we start this fourth quarter. Here is Prescott. Play action. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it in time. It's Elliott. Good play out there in the flat. Jordan Richards was right there to make sure that Elliott could not haul it in. And so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
And look at the coverage, because that ball's thrown very well, but as Elliott tries to tuck it away, Jordan Richards stays with the play. This is the mark of a tough, good defensive back. You may get beat on the pass, but if you stay with it, you can affect it later, and he pops it free. And there's Marquand Manuel, the defensive coordinator. Kevin, who thought we'd get this far where this game might be turned over to the D coordinators of both teams?
That's where it is right now on a big 3rd down. Cowboys need to get to the 14. It's a blitz. Picked up. Prescott hits Beasley. 1st down. Breaking inside the 5. He goes to old reliable Cole Beasley, and it's a 1st and goal for Dallas.
And how long has Cole Beasley been waiting for this opportunity as he runs this underneath shallow cross and gets wide open? Remember earlier in the game he had a touchdown in his hands that he dropped. It turned into a field goal for Dallas. He's been seeking atonement ever since. Gets it there.
And they're going quick here. 1st and goal. Elliott on his own read. It's Prescott on the keeper. Prescott! Touchdown, Dallas!
Look, even though the zone read works and he pulls it, it's not a clear, clean run for him. This is where the strength of Dak Prescott comes to the front. As he cuts inside, KZ has him, but a nice cut with some power back to the inside. And the big body of Dak Prescott lands in the end zone.
A 4-yard touchdown run. The extra point is no good. That's a huge miss because it's only a field goal game now by Maher. We told you about his field goal misses recently. He had been perfect on extra points. So Prescott with the big play. It does put the Cowboys in front, but only a 3-point lead now. Well, Dak Prescott has led the Cowboys on a couple long drives. Vic Beasley here may have gotten a little deep. What happened?
Right side of your screen. He goes inside, and he doesn't read the quarterback pulling it. He goes for the running back, Ezekiel Elliott, and that's why Dak Prescott takes the ball from Elliott, keeps it. He's had 2 sacks today, has Vic Beasley, and has played fairly well, but did not read his keys on that one, and it turned into a touchdown for Dallas.
Think about Dallas, a couple drives. That touchdown drive was 14 plays. It took 7:53. They had a field goal drive earlier that was 15 plays. Took 7.5 minutes as well. We told you before Saturday, it's a big one, right? It's number 4 Michigan, number 10 Ohio State for a spot in the Big Ten Championship. Coverage Saturday, 11 Eastern on Fox, or you can see it anywhere on the Fox Sports app. But Charles, I want to point out 2 big things. You talked about Cole Beasley looking for redemption. He dropped a touchdown earlier, so they left 4 points on the board.
Yes.
And now an extra point miss.
And now it's only a 3-point game, as you pointed out, when the extra point was missed by Brett Maher.
Instead of an 8-point lead is the Cowboys' 3-point lead, but it is their lead, and the Falcons go to the ground with Tevin Coleman.
And normally when you miss an extra point, there's something wrong with the whole operation, right? Is it the snap is high? You know, the extra point holder didn't get it on the ground correctly. Hard to detect anything wrong there. Good snap, good hold, and he just pulls it left.
On the fake, pressure again. Here comes Crawford. Ryan eludes, now steps up, throws for Jones. Nicely done. Julio Jones with a toe tap inbounds, and a 1st down for Atlanta with a gain of 19.
How about the dexterity of Julio Jones, understanding where he is on the field, able to catch the football with his hands, get both feet down, and finish the process of the catch. And Matt Ryan in the pocket, how about his ability to elude and then drive the ball on a deep outside throw for Julio Jones?
You know, the Falcons average over 400 yards a game. Dallas has held them to 214 so far here in this 4th quarter, but that's a nice pickup. Ito Smith in the game at tailback. They'll fake it to him. Ryan quick over the middle. Oh, it's intercepted! It is intercepted by Leighton Vander Esch, and he's got some blocks. Leighton Vander Esch. An interception last week and a huge interception this week.
And it was off of what they call the RPO, the run-pass option. Fakes it inside. For the Falcons, it's really a pass-run option because Matt Ryan's not going to run it, and the ball just goes right off the hands of Ridley. An excellent hand-eye coordination by Leighton Vander Esch as that ball comes off hot and twists right to him, able to grab it, and then he turns back into the quarterback he was in 8-man football in high school and becomes a big-time runner.
It's a fascinating twist, right? Many thought that the Cowboys would or should have taken Calvin Ridley. They've both been great for their respective teams. It's Ridley dropping it right into the arms of Vander Esch, who's been a stud. And now Dallas with the 3-point lead, looking to add from their 31. They'll run it. Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott chugging forward inside the 25, down to the 20-40, picks up 7.
Haven't seen that often this year from Matt Ryan. That's what, his 4th interception thrown for the season. And Vander Esch, as you mentioned, Kevin, back-to-back weeks with a pick. And he is an old-school looking linebacker in every way. And there it is, the two guys. Calvin Ridley thought when the Cowboys number came up, he would get the call. He did not. Leighton Vander Esch got the call. The draft happened in AT&T Stadium in Dallas. And the Cowboy fans booed. They wanted the receiver. I think they're very happy to have Vander Esch now, especially with the injury to Sean Lee.
And the funny thing is, both those guys went on a visit together to the Patriots, and they're friends. They got along great.
Like each other very well, and both landed in excellent situations.
Not friends right now. Cameron Fleming comes in, by the way. Lyle Collins got hurt on that last play. And Elliott doesn't care. He breaks 3 into the end zone. Touchdown.
We talk so often about this Dallas offensive line, and even with a substitution, look at everyone locked up on each other. Man on man, white shirt on black shirt, and DeMonte KZ can't make the tackle in the open field, and Ezekiel Elliott gives Dallas a nice advantage.
Now Maher will try again with extra point attempt. And that one, he sneaks it home. So Ezekiel Elliott having a big day, 114 rushing yards, a 28-yard touchdown run here. And the Cowboys with 13 points in 41 seconds to grab a 10-point lead. Jerry Jones, oh yeah. Vander Esch, the rookie, keeps making plays, but Charles, you were begging for it at halftime. Cowboys run the ball more. They've listened. Yeah, and I think it's been a little bit of attrition. They're starting to get bigger chunks, wear down that defensive front of Atlanta with their big offensive line. And it led to the last touchdown after intercepted by Vander Esch. And now the Falcons have work to do with 12:26 to go. Well, Leighton Vander Esch really is a terrific story. The rookie out of Boise State. Charles talked about a walk-on there. Leads the team in tackles. He's born in '96 in Riggins, Idaho. There's 400 people that live there. It's a small town. Salmon River High School. Yeah, they played 8-man football, so he had to tackle. So what does he do? He walks on to Boise, and he's the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year, and then he's the 19th overall pick, and then he leads the team in tackles. And now he's got 2 interceptions in back-to-back weeks. The last one set up a touchdown, and he really is turning into one of the outstanding stories of the year in the NFL. And here he is on the field again with a 10-point lead.
And in today's football, one of the bigger linebackers still in the game. He looks old school with his size.
Here is Coleman. Nice hole left side. Kevin Coleman has a first down. And we've got a game break with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So the Redskins were down 17-7 when Alex Smith drops back, pressured. J.J. Watt lands on his right ankle, a gruesome injury. He was carted off. He is now on his way to the hospital. But Colt McCoy comes in and completes this pass to Jordan Reed. The Cowboys and Redskins, of course, play on Thursday. Kevin?
It's a monster story, Carissa. Here's Sanu. Vander Esch misses that tackle, and Sanu makes a good move and powers his way to a first down. It's a huge story. The Redskins are in first place, and you don't want to speculate, but man, oh man, didn't look good.
Don't want to say it, but how about the strength here of Mohamed Sanu? We've been talking about Leighton Vander Esch being an old school linebacker, how big he is. Look at him shrug him off with the straight arm and then put his shoulder down and run through the last tackle at the end to pick up additional yardage.
Gain of 12. They will run it here, and it's Coleman. Good run. Charles, there's so much time left in this game, obviously, but it just It feels like it's going to take a lot of effort to score a touchdown against this Cowboys defense today.
It does feel that way, but they're running it a little bit better now than maybe we might have suspected coming into the game. Plenty of time. They don't have to change much of what they do on offense in order to stay with this one.
Ryan has time. There's Julio Jones inside the 30 and down to the 25. So when in doubt, just get it to number 11 as he picks up 20.
Nice job on the read by Matt Ryan, because look at what he's getting. It is not man-to-man coverage. Zone coverage. He finds a dead spot inside, and Ryan puts it right on him.
Amazingly, Falcons haven't been in the red zone today.
Look a little discombobulated right there, getting lined up.
Here's a fake, but pressure from Gregory. Ryan resets, he throws, it's Paulson, the tight end. Stiff arm, Paulson! What a stiff arm to Awuzie, and it picked him up a first down to the 10.
And Kevin, it was the guy that looked like he was confused getting set up, which was Logan Paulson, who ended up being the receiver. Faked the block and became the receiver and takes it. Look at the straight arm that he puts on Awuzie to keep him off of him and gain additional yardage.
Now the Falcons finally in the red zone where, you know, we know about their past troubles. Week 1 against the Eagles, terrible since they had been red hot. And they're in there for the first time today, and they need a touchdown. They're down 10 with 9:45 to go. They'll pitch it. They're going to run it. Smith, who's got 4 touchdowns on the year. And he's down to the 6. Paulson was down on the ground, but he gets up. Sarkisian calling the plays again, that red zone turnaround.
And you notice he brought Austin Hooper back into the ball game. Zach Ertz caught 2 touchdown passes last week against this Dallas defense in similar situations. You know, he's looking for an opportunity to make his mark here.
Julio Jones on the left side.
With Byron Jones.
2nd and 5. They will run it. Smith near side. No. They can get a first down at the 1, so this is not a 3rd and goal, but it's going to be a 3rd down, and we'll call it 3. And there's an injured Cowboy, and that is Tyrone Crawford.
At a spot they can ill afford to lose players. Pam Oliver talked about at the beginning of the game how many defensive linemen the Cowboys were down.
They tend to Crawford. It's a pivotal play coming up. Falcons have a 3rd and 2. Looking to punch it in. Down 10 in the 4th. Tyrone Crawford is out. They're getting looked at, and now it's a monster play. A 3rd down and 2 from the 3. They can get a first down at the 1. Ryan looks right, looks left, throw incomplete. He tried to get it to Hooper, and I'm wondering if there's any thoughts of going, and I guess not, because it looks like the field goal unit's coming on.
Yeah, since they didn't gain any yardage, that took it out of the hands of Dan Quinn. Look at the left side of your screen. Hooper 81 tries to run a whip route back inside, and Leighton Vander Esch is all over it. Does not get overextended, does not go upfield on Hooper to allow him to cut back inside. Holds his ground, stays in the right spot. Excellent leverage there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, Falcons need 2 scores instead of going for it here. They will try and make it a 1-score game. With Bryant from 21, it's perfect. He is 4 for 4. Not what they wanted, but within 7 with 8.5 to go. And we'll be right back after this message from Farmers Insurance. Another play. He had the pick that set up the touchdown. He makes a play down the goal line. For more on him, let's go down to Pam.
Yeah, Kevin, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones told me something very interesting when I talked to him before the game. Jones told me when linebacker Sean Lee does come back from his latest hamstring injury, the Cowboys will then rotate him with rookie linebacker Leighton Vander Esch. That is very unusual because Sean Lee is the undisputed quarterback of the Dallas defense, and he almost never comes off the field. Kevin?
Pam, that's interesting, because I don't know how in the world you could possibly take 55 off the field.
Yeah, I think that Vander Esch here's what I think actually happens. Vander Esch stays on the field, and I know that that's their thought process, as Jerry Jones reported to Pam Oliver. The coaches might say, you know something, sir? 55 stays on. Sean Lee comes back on, and Damian Wilson becomes your backup outside linebacker. Then you get your best guys on the field.
And you can see Sean Lee. Look, he's a tremendous player. So obviously, if he's healthy, he's going to play.
And Van Der Esch is big enough to play that strong side linebacker. You could move him over there. It fits his body type very well. Then you got your three best backers on the field. So I know what their intention is. The coaching staff may have a different discussion.
Right tackle Dallas Collins is back in the game. Remember on the Elliott touchdown run, he went out for a play. Cam Fleming came in to play right tackle. So Collins, 71, back in. Prescott to throw. Near side it's Beasley, who's wide open. And pivots his way out to the 32 for a gain of 7. So here we are. And as you predicted earlier, this game may be coming down to Marquand Manuel.
Yeah, Marquand Manuel versus Chris Richard. And Marquand Manuel is the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. This game back in his hands, his defense's hands. His team just went downfield and scored, kicked a field goal. They've got an opportunity. Can his defense hold Dallas out of the end zone, keep them off the board, and give them a chance? And then it turns back into Chris Richard's game. So who would have thought we'd be this deep into Atlanta and Dallas, and the defensive coordinators would become the story?
Second down, Elliott's. He's going to bring the third down. Game break, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, although Beckham said the Giants could run the table, they beat San Francisco Monday night, and now they're up 31-14 in the fourth quarter on top of the Bucs after that 8-yard score. And by the way, Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown 3 interceptions and has been benched for Jameis Winston. Stop me if you've heard that before, Kevin and Charles.
Well, I don't think things are going well in Tampa. That's an understatement. Here, the Cowboys up by 7, 3rd and 1, 7 minutes to play.
If you're Atlanta, you load up for Ezekiel Elliott right here.
Play clock winding down. They get it. It's a zone read. Prescott has the first down. Flexing his muscles.
And that was pure power. Watch Elliott watch Prescott as he pulls it from Elliott's chest. And here comes Foye Oluokun, from Yale, the rookie. And he's right there in good position. But the strength of Prescott carries him past the first down marker.
So we had the touchdown on the zone replay, a humongous pickup on 3rd and 1, and of course the clock winding now, 6:21 to go. It's a factor. Prescott will throw it near side. Swain, the tight end, has it. And he's got a 4-yard gain. Maybe 5, depending on where they put it. The Cowboys with their run game today, 128 yards on the ground. Ezekiel Elliott has 116 of those. He's also got 66 yards in the air. Another just phenomenal performance.
And offensive coordinator Scott Linehan coaching from the box now. Have you noticed on this drive, first down passes? Because Atlanta loading up for Ezekiel Elliott. He's trying to loosen it up a little bit, get a few yards on first down, and typically he comes back with Elliott on second down here on second and about 5.5.
Zone read again. Prescott keeps that time. Takk McKinley did not fall for it. Now you'd have to think with 5.5 to go. Of course, Atlanta has 3 timeouts. This is a pretty huge play.
That was well defended because they played every bit of what Dallas could throw at them. They had Elliott covered on the inside run. They had the right defender there in Dak Prescott's face in case he pulled it. And they bring it up and put it on the arm of Dak Prescott here. A key 3rd down for both of these squads.
Next, Zach Martin.
Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Only the 3rd penalty of the game overall. First for Dallas.
Watch to the right of your screen. The right guard, Zach Martin, doesn't make very many mistakes. And that's a tough one because it was already a 3rd and long. Now it's 3rd and longer. Zeke Elliott's going to come out of the backfield on this one. Atlanta needs to get off the field.
Cowboys need to get to the 46. It's only a 3-man rush. Prescott has time. Elliott is going to go nowhere. It's going to lose a yard. So the penalty enormous, and the Falcons will get the ball back with plenty of time, down 7.
So Marquand Manuel's defense, which has had its share of troubles throughout this season, gets it done in the most crucial stage here in this ball game. Get the ball back for their offense. Zach Martin, you saw his reaction, knowing that his penalty really put Dallas in Dutch.
And here comes Chris Jones, who will punt it for the first time this half. Justin Hardy back to return. Good kick. Jones high and deep. Hardy pinned against the sideline and has nowhere to go. What a kick. And it came, and then Max. Kayvon Frazier was down on special teams. But then a penalty. Hardy had nowhere to go. It was Lenore who came in late. He was.
Oh, that's just. I don't even know what to say to that, because the special teams coach is going to be looking at him and saying, "Young man."
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Kicking team number 14. That's a 15-yard penalty out at the end of the play. First down.
So Keith O'Quinn, the special teams coach, I'm not even sure he's going to know how to address that. He was so far out of bounds. And I know that Lenore doesn't get to play very often, but you've got to understand your situations.
Maybe the season on the line for Atlanta. They're down 7 and they've got the ball. Unbelievably bad penalty for Lance Lenore here.
So far out of bounds. Jason Garrett trying to give him a little love there, because he knows he's got to get his attention focused forward. It's probably the special teams coach there, Keith O'Quinn, talking to him. And now it's all in the hands of their defense.
Instead of starting at the 16, now you get it out across the 30. It's a big difference and a big hole. Look at this. It's Coleman out to the 45. What a change of momentum for these Falcons, who are down 7 and off to a good start here.
And this offensive line of Atlanta has been maligned about being able to run the football all year. Look at them. Everyone locked up on someone. And even Austin Hooper, number 81, the tight end on the backside of the play, he got a nice block as well.
Blitz coming. Jalen Smith, they get rid of it quick to the far side. It's Wrigley out to midfield. So that blitz didn't have a chance. Pickup of 6 yards.
I think Matt Ryan is going to understand pre-snap before the ball goes. All right, where are my prime targets? Where's Byron Jones, number 31 for Dallas? That's the toughest corner to go against, and take his chances elsewhere.
Put this in perspective. Atlanta right now, with New Orleans leading the division at 8-1, they're not going to catch them. They have got to have this win. Right now, they're on the outside looking into the playoff chase. Coleman tripped up. What a play. Malik Collins busted through, and a loss.
And how happy are they to have him back and able to play? There was some question because he's had a bad knee recently, but look at him work his way upfield and work right through the attempted block by number 63 Ben Garland, and able to knock him down. That's what Rod Marinelli coaches, the defensive lineman as well as being the defensive coordinator. Upfield pressure and make plays in the backfield.
Oh, this is 4-down territory where we are right now. 4-man rush, but pressure. Ryan stands in, throws, Sanu, what hands! Somehow he held on with Anthony Brown all over him, and it's a first down.
Watch Matt Ryan stand firm against the pressure of the Dallas pocket with Dallas Cowboys. Finds an open spot, and as you noted, the hands of Mohamed Sanu. Look how strong they are, because Anthony Brown's contesting this catch. And he comes down with it and fights him the whole way. Look at Brown trying to rake the ball out. Sanu doesn't let it happen.
Looks like Atlanta's almost content winding it down to the 2-minute warning. And no, they'll get off the play. Ryan, quick hitter going outside of Smith. Ito Smith working his way for a pickup of 9. And that will take us down to the 2-minute warning, and we are in for a heck of a finish from Atlanta. The Cowboys have had themselves a big second half. Dak Prescott and company, but here comes Matt Ryan down 7. He's got the Falcons on the move. 1:59 to play from Atlanta. 19-12 Cowboys, so the Falcons need a touchdown, and they're on the move. Second down. Ryan going for it all, looking for Julio Jones. He caught it! Touchdown! for the great Julio Jones.
Right from pre-snap, Matt Ryan reads the man-to-man coverage, and who are you going to take your chances with? Awuzie made a nice play earlier in the ball game against Julio Jones downfield, but on this one, the concentration and the strong hands of Jones win the day. He sees the ball, it's being jostled, look at it, ball pops up, Jones stays with it and takes it away from Awuzie for a big touchdown.
Falcons need this to tie it. The extra point from Brian, and we are tied. Julio Jones. Matt Ryan told us once he gets his first one, the floodgates will open. He had a TD against Washington. He had a TD last week, and now at the most important time from 34 yards out, and we are tied. And keep in mind a couple things. A lot of time left. The Cowboys missed their last extra point.
Yes, but they can wipe everything away with a drive here, and you see Dak Prescott telling his team, we can get it done. But how about Atlanta's last two drives? Picked up the field goal and then come right back and get the touchdown to tie this ball game. Talk about some intestinal fortitude from the team in Atlanta. We've seen it on the last couple of drives, and don't forget their defense holding up on that drive after the field goal to give their offense another opportunity.
Julio Jones is truly amazing. 118 yards now and a touchdown. Let's also remember that hit on what would have been an interception that he made on Jeff Heath, which would dislodge that pick. They got a field goal on that drive, so he saved 3 points there. Look at what he's done in his career. It's amazing. 100-yard games, first 8 years, 46. It's the most of all time. More than Randy Moss. Compute that for a second. It's just hard to comprehend his greatness sometimes. And this has been some game. We've been tied 3 times now here today. But for Dallas, all in front of them. A minute 52 to go, 3 timeouts. They've got a world of time.
Yeah, and this is the opportunity now for Dak Prescott, because in this situation, you can't just strictly run the football with a minute 52 on the clock. Even though you have your timeouts, he's going to have to make some throws here. In Atlanta, nice defensive stand on the last series. They go out with some confidence themselves.
Prescott led them on a great drive to win in Philadelphia last week in the 4th quarter. 152 and 3 timeouts for him here. 4-man rush. Prescott gonna let it fly far side of the field. It hung up there forever, but Gallup couldn't come down with it. That was dinked and dunked and boinked, but it ended up incomplete.
But look at the coverage by Alford, Kevin. See how he just pins him towards the sideline? It makes it very tough, and then he uses his body to shield Gallup from being able to break back inside and catch the football. That's excellent coverage on the corner by Robert Alford, number 23.
Second down. Prescott over the middle. He's got his tight end Swain, who is swarmed at the 30. And a 3rd and 5 is coming up. Lewicon's had a nice game at middle linebacker, and he was there first. And now the Falcons call a timeout.
Funny, I talked with Jeff Ulbrich, the linebackers coach for Atlanta, and he said that when they got a Lewicon in camp, he was teasing him a little bit about being a Yalie, you know, an Ivy League guy. And the Lewicon told him, Coach, there are guys that go to Yale, you know, to be students and what have you. He said, I'm a football player that went to Yale. Let's not get it mistaken. He's proven his worth so far here in his rookie year. Pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty awesome. So's this. 3rd down and 5. So not only are the Cowboys trying to win it, but if they don't convert here, Atlanta's got plenty of time left to try and win it.
And don't forget, Cole Beasley is their top 3rd down receiver. He'll be covered by Brian Poole, number 34, top of your screen in the slot.
Three-man rush. Prescott, pressure coming, sends his throws far side, and a completion and a 1st down. It's Gallup who came back to get it nicely, and Dallas's drive continues with 1:25 to go.
And Kevin, they doubled Cole Beasley on that play. Gallup had to win on the perimeter, and he did.
Now they're hurrying up to the line at the 40. Prescott dumps it over the middle. Elliott with a good hard cut to midfield, and another 1st down. And realistically, Charles, They need another 13 yards to have a field goal try and a chance to win it here.
There's Brett Maher getting loose. He has one game-winning kick this year against Detroit earlier, a 38-yarder.
The season high is 55 yards. Prescott, a lot of time lofting it for Swain. Well, that was dangerous. And it's incomplete as Neesman was on the coverage, and it does stop the clock.
If I'm Prescott, as I look, I don't take very long downfield. I find my outlet, number 21. Get it to him and see what he can do is trying to get a few yards downfield, because remember, he's one broken tackle away from getting you the yardage you need. And can they find Amari Cooper? Can he make one of those plays that they've used the number 1 pick on him to get him? He's in the slot at the bottom of your screen.
Second down. Prescott, pressure coming, hangs in. Beasley's got it. First down, in field goal range. Cole Beasley as Prescott waited to the last moment, and we have an injured Cowboy on the play.
Little whip route, and then he comes back the other way. A lot of people call that a jerk route because as a defensive back, that's what you feel like when he makes a second move and moves away from you. And how about Dak Prescott falling away, throws back across his body, and puts it on him. And Prescott, very calm. Kevin, you made the point earlier about that clock slowing that back down in his head from earlier. Remember, it sped up after the game last year. He was sacked 8 times. That clock slowed down big on that play. He did not overthink it. He also didn't hurry it. Stayed with it and made that throw. And Beasley made a nice job making the extra move to get open and put themselves in a great spot.
And that's what he had been talking about. He has taken more sacks, but he's trying to make more plays, and that was there. Meanwhile, there's concern for Tyron Smith, who's been dealing with back spasms, and so he is down right now. Cowboys are already in field goal range with 34 seconds to play, and while they 10 with Tyron Smith, let's get a quick game break from Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. So you guys got a great game here. Another good one in Detroit. Matt Stafford connects with Kenny Golladay for this 19-yard score, his 5th of the season. Lions now lead 20-13 with under 5 to play. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
Well, that's big in the NFC wildcard race. I did not see that one coming. So, Charles, let's set it up. 34 seconds left. They continue to work on Tyron Smith, so Cameron Fleming will at least come in for one play, a tackle. But right now, for Brett Maher, it's a 48-yard kick.
And what you're asking him is, where do you want the football? That's what you have to know going in the huddle. Where does your kicker want the football when he kicks it? All right? Some guys like it on the left half. Some guys like the right half. They will tell you the best spot. He's in range. You don't want to gum it up now if you are Dallas. Just put it in the spot to give your kicker the best opportunity and try and run this thing down to the buzzer.
That's what they could do. They've got 2 timeouts left here, so they can run it. Just remember, Maher has missed field goals in 3 consecutive games, and he missed an extra point here tonight. Some pressure on the young man. First, Cowboys trying to get closer. 34 seconds left. Draw to Elliott, and doesn't get much. And the whistle blows, and timeout on the field. This one will be Atlanta. Maher just sitting and waiting. Again, won a game against the Lions at the Horn. Week 4, we were there for that one.
Had a chance in Washington to tie it, but remember they had that snap infraction against LP Ladouceur, this holder, something you hardly ever see, and it moved from a 47 to a 52-yarder, and he barely missed that.
Right. He hit the upright on that one. And just, you think about this game, Dallas has had opportunities to really put it away. This Beasley doesn't drop balls. That's a touchdown. So they did get a field goal, but they lost 4 points there. They missed an extra point, as we told you about. That's been an issue. The big penalty on the kickoff, which helped Atlanta go down the field and tie it. But with all that being said, they've got a chance to win it here. 29 seconds left. Falcons load up the box. They'll run it to Elliott, and Elliott gets a little closer, down to the 25. And a timeout on the field. It's going to be Atlanta, so their last timeout. It'll be a 3rd down coming up, and we think that the Cowboys will run it one more time. That's what Charles was talking about. LP Ladouceur, who had that strange penalty. Chris Jones, the punter, is the holder, and it's Maher has been sitting thinking about this thing for 3 minutes.
Just think about his career path, too. Talk about Maher. He's in Dallas's camp in 2013, goes to Canada and kicks 78% made field goals for 4 years. In Houston camp in 2017, back to Dallas this year. Has 1 game-winning field goal, as we just showed you. He's hoping for an opportunity at another.
Dallas will run one more time. The timeout's in their back pocket on 3rd down and 6. It's Elliott up the middle, gets it a little closer inside the 25. As Ezekiel Elliott goes over 200 total yards on the day. 122 rushing. They'll let the clock tick down to about 4 seconds, and then we'll see if Brett Maher can be a hero.
And he gets to run out there with the understanding, too, that they can't call the extra timeout, freeze him late. It's one shot, and he can go ahead and go.
So either the Cowboys win it or we go to overtime here in Atlanta. Huge game for both. Dallas trying to get back to 500. A loss would really hurt Atlanta. They dropped to 4-6. Maher is hit from 21. He's hit from 50. This from 42 yards out. What a game. New life for Dallas. Road wins in Philly and Atlanta. And Maher, the hero at the buzzer.
It may have given Cowboy fans a little bit of an anxious moment as it approached the post, but it clears it to the inside, and Dallas wins a huge must-win game. And for Atlanta, hard to see their path to the playoffs after today's loss.
Think about this. The Redskins are losing right now. That holds. Dallas will play on Thanksgiving against Washington for first place in the division. What a game. Final score, the Cowboys 22, the Falcons 19. We send it to LA for the State Farm Game Break Show. Take it away, Kurt.